I just start at people's origin stories. Jasmine, tell me about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Bellevue, and I was actually raised out on Whidbey Island in San Juan. So, moved there when I was like 3 years old with my mom. And my mom and my sister and me all lived together. My mom moved there when she was pregnant with my sister. And then the way we got out there, because it's kind of a random place, my grandparents retired out there. And they have, a little bit of money, so they purchased a house for us to like rent from them. And we rented a house from them. My mom still lives there to this day, actually.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's where I grew up on Whidbey Island.
And what was home life like with you and your sisters and
Me and my sister didn't really get along.
One sister?
One sister, yeah. Just me and my one sister, yeah. We didn't really get along a lot. I mean, we did when we were younger, but as we got older, like, I'm not really sure what it was, but we clashed heads a lot, you know what I mean? And caused a lot of strain in the family and stuff, but, I mean, we still loved each other, of course, but yeah, it was just kind of a lot of tension sometimes in the house, but yeah, single mom, and a lot of time, my mom would work a lot, but she would, we'd go up to my grandparents a lot, and my grandparents had adopted my 3 cousins from my Aunt Susie, and so they raised all 3 of those of my cousins, and they were really close by, so we would always go up there.
Yeah, what did you guys do for fun when you were kids?
Well, we were kind of nerdy, actually. We were kind of didn't really like get to watch TV and stuff. Like, my grandparents were kind of old school, so we got to play outside a lot, and like make my oldest cousin Samantha. She likes to she wanted to be a director at that time, so we had an old video camera that she had that just sat on your shoulder, and we made a movie throughout our whole lives, like till about, I think the last time we filmed something was when I was about like 17 or 18. We started when we were like, I think I was like 10 or 11 when we started. And so we'd randomly just have days where we're like, okay, let's film some more of the movie, and
so just an ongoing
yeah,
thread
just an ongoing thing. Yeah, so you can see us all grow up throughout it.
Yeah,
it was actually kind of cool. Like, we watch it once in a while, like at family things, and laugh about it because it's really terrible. But
well, it's like gold, right?
Yeah,
it's just like
it is.
Those are the memories and
it was
documenting your childhood.
Yeah, it was awesome. Actually, I had a good childhood. I grew up right by the beach, on in like a retirement community, so it was quiet, but there were not really very many kids around, but we had fun. Yeah, we got to be outside a lot and swing sets and all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, well, I mean, there's something about, like, I have 2 little girls that are 8 and 10, and I'm like, get outside.
Yeah.
Like, here's a box. Here's like, get off the iPad.
Yeah. Yeah. Too many kids don't have that these days. Like, I honestly am blessed for it. I'm happy that I got to be like one of the last, generations that didn't have technology as a go-to for everything.
Yeah.
I'm happy I didn't, because technology is not all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
It makes kids grow up too fast.
And so went to high school out there?
I was actually homeschooled. My grandparents homeschooled us for a little while. Because the school out there, I tried going to the normal school out there. First, we all went to private school for a little bit, but it was too expensive, so I had to go to normal school, and my sister went to private school, and then and my teacher was kind of racist or whatever and wasn't very nice, so she made me, told me I ruined the entire Halloween for everybody, and I went home crying, and because my mom is a baker, my mom's an amazing baker, she makes the most amazing cakes and whatever in our little kitchen. Like, people pay her good money for them too, and she had made little spiders to hang, because like they were out of donuts at the store or some stupid thing like that. I was supposed to bring donuts, and I ruined the whole thing and came home crying, and my mom was really mad about it. So my grandparents were like, oh, we'll just homeschool her, we're not doing much, and so I was homeschooled for a while, and then all the kids became homeschooled, poor things. And so we were homeschooled for like our early years, and then high school, like middle school, went to middle school for a little bit, hated it. It was too dramatic. I couldn't handle all the drama and the just stupid stuff that I couldn't understand why people were like tripping over. But so I ended up going back to being homeschooled, and then high school I ended up going to high school out there, and then I went to an alternative high school though, because I just didn't really feel like I fit in very well at the normal one. So I went to Bellevue High School, which is just a small high school. It's probably about the size of this building. And
this is all on the island.
Yeah, on Whidbey Island. Yeah, yep. And yeah, I graduated in 2012.
Where does life take you after graduation?
Well, I went to work in Alaska for a summer, and but like throughout my young years, I was always a party kid. You know what I mean? I partied all throughout. I mean, there's nothing else to do out there. You know what I mean? There's nothing for kids, and you kind of feel bored a lot, so you just get into trouble, and start smoking cigarettes young and drinking young and dabbling in stuff young, and just slowly progress. But I'm still happy I graduated. It took me an extra year to do that, but I went back. I had dropped out, but I went back and I did it. And then after high school, I tried to do the whole working thing, and be a part of society. My grandpa's big on that. He's a big, do your taxes and do everything by the book kind of guy, and trying to make him proud and stuff, and my mom too, and but yeah, I ended up just kind of like not feeling like I could. I just don't really like people telling me what to do, and I don't really like. I don't know. I just don't really like agree with a lot of people's the way that people think that they need to. I don't know.
Well, it's like a social norm.
Yeah,
This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Go to high school, go to college, get a job.
Yeah. I don't really agree with that. Like, I don't really find that to be like the necessity, like a necessary thing to do. Like,
and we're free to make choices.
And once I was an adult, I was like, okay, like, cool, like, I can make my own choices now. You know what I mean? And like my mom being a single parent, I kind of made my own choices a lot when I was young, anyways. Like, especially my high school years, I didn't really go to my grandparents as much then anyways, so I was by myself, so I made a lot of choices myself already, but yeah, I just kind of found myself like bored with the whole college, and I didn't see it fit. It just didn't fit for me,
It doesn't fit for a lot of people. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
totally fine.
So yeah, I ended up working in Alaska for a summer, and then came back and I started being a caregiver, which I actually really love to do. Actually, like, I really loved it. But I like to help people a lot. I do. I'm always that person that likes to like not save the day, but just like make sure that everyone's okay, And I found it very rewarding. After work, I didn't feel like I worked a day at work. I would be like, cool, I helped somebody like get through their day, and like I got through my day. You know what I mean? Like, so it's pretty cool. Like, it wasn't bad, but. So yeah, that's what I did, but I still partied though on the side, I was a big drinker at like 19, and big drinker. And when I turned 21, I was an even bigger drinker, drank a lot.
Well, we all, experiment, are curious, find our vice, or the vice finds us, I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely does, so, yeah, but yeah, that's what I started out doing. I got my own car and stuff,
And you're still on the island, or are you over here?
Oh, no, I've been over here since I was like 21.
Oh, okay, so when you're 21, you make
22, 21.
Decide to come to Seattle.
Yeah, actually, my mom ended up kicking me out because I started doing like stuff that I shouldn't have been doing, and she didn't want it in her house, so she wanted me to leave, so I left and tried to like make it out there homeless, but it doesn't really work out there. There's not really very many resources for people out there. They're homeless at all. Like, at least then there wasn't. I don't know about now, but yeah.
So that was like a first time you became unhoused, was when you left your mom.
Yeah. When I started bouncing around from house to house and couch to couch, and just kind of stay in my car, you know what I mean? Like, whatever I was doing, just running around doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing, but still tried to keep my job, but
like couch surfing, trying to make it work.
Yeah. I was just like, kind of, and people that I grew up with, my close friends, some of my close friends, their parents reached out to me and let me stay with them, and and stuff like that. And then I ended up, I just like got tired of it. I had lost my car finally. I was messing around, doing stupid shit, and I over on the side, and at the casino actually, and my my key broke off in my car door, and tried to get it out, and I got it out, and then I ran to Walmart to get super glue so I could try and super glue it together, and while I did that, the people that were with me tried to get my car to start without me there, and shoved it in my ignition and like beat it in there with a hammer that had broken half the key, and so my car wasn't able to, and like pulled all these wires out and shit, so I no longer had my vehicle, and I yeah, that sucked.
Well, were you living in your vehicle at the time?
Living in my
Gotcha.
car, yeah,
Right.
I was living in it, yeah. Like, I mean, kind of, yeah. Like, I was staying places, but yeah.
Also living in there.
Also in my car. Everything I owned was in my vehicle.
And then when that was gone.
That was gone. And then I was like, well, screw this. Like, this is way harder without a vehicle, you know? Like, and I was like, I just kind of like had like a moment where I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm not doing what I should be doing, you know? And so I checked myself into detox. And I went to detox, and I ended up moving back to the island after that. Oh, actually, I moved to Vegas for a couple months, but to help one of my best friends, but out with like an abusive relationship or something. But she didn't really end up really needing to leave. She just wanted a nanny or something. But me and her boyfriend didn't really get along very well, you know. So, or her husband. Her husband. They ended up getting married like after knowing each other for 3 days in their living room. So, but anyways, so yeah, I went down there for a little bit. I was down there for like maybe 4 or 5 months, and then came back up here because they had kicked me out, like left me, threw all my stuff on the porch, and kind of was just like, well, he did, you know what I mean? He threw all my stuff on the porch because I told him I don't want you hitting my friend, you know, and he didn't like that. So yeah, so. I got kicked out, didn't know anybody in Vegas, you know, and my phone was dying, so I hit up Facebook. I was like, hey, anybody know anybody down here? And one of my best friends growing up, Anna, her parents, one of the only kids that lived in my neighborhood, they ended up reaching out to me, and they're like, hey, we'll get you a taxi to this hotel. They got me a taxi to a hotel, and we'll get you a plane to get home, you know, because they have money like that, and I grew up with her, you know. She was like one of my, like, she was the only child, but I was like her sister. Mm-hmm. She hated it, but they treated me like her sister. She hated it, but yeah. So yeah, they were like kind of like my other parents, I guess, in a way, but yeah.
But eventually, you made your way back up to Seattle.
Yeah, I came back up to Washington, went back to Whidbey Island.
Okay.
And started living with them. My friend's parents, they started letting me live with them, and I got another caregiving job again. And working for this lady who had Alzheimer's, and her husband, private, you know, in-home care. I don't really like nursing homes. They're really just so sad to work at. I prefer like one-on-one. Yeah, because I feel like they get more of what they need. You know, it's really sad that people just like take their old people and put them in a home and leave them there, and expect people that don't know them or care about them to take care of them. You know, so a lot of them too, you know, and it's like, that's your family, you guys should probably keep them until, you know, I don't know, that's how I feel. I think that's a common
kind of Western American thing to do. A lot of different cultures, they're there till they're they're there till, you know, there aren't nursing homes.
That's right. There aren't nursing homes. That's a very rich person, you know, like a kind of, you know, upper class attitude about things, you know, and it's kind of how it is out there on Whidbey Island. A lot of people, if you're out there, you probably have money, you know?
Yeah. So you moved back, how long are you there?
I'm there for like a year, and I stayed clean. I didn't do any dope or anything. Like, I was still drinking. I drank because all my friends, everybody there drinks, you know what I mean, a lot. Like, that's okay, you know what I mean? It's okay to be a drunk, but it's not okay to be a drug addict, you know?
There's something to pause there and really let that sink in. Like, there's a lot of drugs out there. Yeah. Alcohol, of course, is acceptable. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And a lot of people die from that.
Yeah. More people die from alcohol.
If somebody says it's illegal.
Yeah. Then people look down on you for that and make
stigma. Big stigma.
You know, it's crazy because, like, people that know you your whole life, like, it was funny because nobody really knew I was doing dope, really. Like, nobody knew, like, they knew that something was up because I wasn't drinking as much. You know what I mean? Because I once I started smoking, I didn't really like drinking that much. So they were like, why aren't you drinking like you know? But other than that, like, nothing about me really changed, you know? Like, I was still the same person, but once you know, somebody spilled beans on me and told, like, that's when everyone started treating me like I was a leper, like I had leprosy or something, you know what I mean? And like I'm a terrible person and all this stuff. So yeah, like, you know, it's just crazy how people, like, how much, like, people can judge you.
Yeah.
and like
perceptions, right?
Yeah. So.
Does that bring up something right there?
A little bit, you know. A little bit, yeah. I just really care about the people that are my, you know. I just really care about my friends and stuff, and like I consider them family, you know, like the people that I've grown up with, you know.
Of course.
And
yeah, it's a shame.
I just feel like they kind of like gave up on me. But sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't be sorry. I think it's part of your story, and like it's painful.
Yeah,
it sucks.
But yeah, so yeah, I still tried to, you know, I lived in a couple of trap houses, I guess you could say, in a Whidbey Island trap house way, that you could have a trap house, you know, and then got tired of it and hit up my dad one day and asked him if we never really, like, he wasn't in our lives for the first 2 years, so, but he showed up one day randomly when we were young, and I give him that. He came back, you know what I mean, he tried to find us and stuff, hired a private investigator and everything to find us. Yeah, so I give him that, you know what I mean, like that's kudos to that, you know, but there's more than just that to like being a dad, and like by that time I had already been like over the whole I want my daddy thing, you know, so, but I tried seeing if he would help me, you know.
Was it a like I'm sick of this, I need help kind of thing?
It was like I'm sick of being here, and I'm sick of, like, I'm just tired of having nothing, like, because there's nothing you can really even do out there, really, to, like, even hustle, like hustling's, like, hard, like, everybody knows everybody out there, you know, it's just, like, and you have a picture painted of you, like, and everybody's in your business, you know what I mean, like, they're, like, one person knows something, everybody knows something, like, you know.
Small town kind of feel, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that you can do that someone's not gonna know, you know, so it's like, I got kind of tired of that, and like, people, like, lying about me and saying things that weren't true, and then people that I thought that were my friends, like, believing it, you know what I mean, and going for it, so I was like, you know, let's do this, I'm gonna get out of here, you know, and maybe my dad will help me, and maybe I can just start over, you know, across what we call it the mainland, you know, on the mainland, and so I get on the ferry. So I hit him up and threw everything I had into a trash bag and got on the ferry and came over, and he met me at the ferry, and I thought like you know, he was gonna help me, you know. I thought that we were like I wasn't really sure what I was planning to do, really. I was like,
but you're willing to take the risk.
I was just willing to do something, like anything, like just
change
and
the
like,
direction. Right?
And like the last thing I tried going to Vegas didn't work, but I figured, you know, okay, maybe my dad, you know, it might work with my dad, you know, like I'll give him a shot, you know. He's always tries to be in my life, you know, now, and I've been kind of like standoffish a little bit, you know, and you know, I'll give him that. He tries, you know, and so you know, let's see where it goes, you know, let's see what happens if I give him that shot, you know what I mean. And so yeah, he picks me up at the boat. I throw my trash bag and stuff in the back, and takes me to his house out in Renton, and we go and eat some food or whatever. And he's big on eating out. And I thought that we didn't really even discuss what the plan was exactly. Like, I guess, but like in my mind, I'm thinking he has an extra room in his house, like, and I'm over here, and yeah, he knows I do drugs, but I think like if he gives me that shot, like maybe I am willing to get clean right now, you know, like I don't know where. I didn't really know. We didn't really discuss it. Like there was no discussion. It was kind of just like, okay, I'm here now. Like you know, kind of just going with the flow, you know.
Right.
And just trying to like you know see what you know what he was willing to do, I guess. And so I'm like, and he had an extra room, you know. I'm like, he has an extra room. He's my dad, you know. He never raised me a day in his life, so maybe he'll.
Yeah, you're putting these pieces together.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is you have hope.
Yeah. I'm like trying to find like some, because obviously it wasn't working where I was at.
So this may be a hopeful situation.
Yeah, I was hoping for that.
Start over.
Yeah, and so yeah, so I get out of his house, and I'm there for a night, and then the next day we wake up, and he lives there at his house with his girlfriend of like forever. Like they've been together for like, I don't know, a long time, like damn near married, but they're not married, you know. And and she's kind of like, her kids are good, good kids, and like he raised her kids, you know what I mean? And so they call him dad and stuff, and but yeah, she lived there and with him obviously, and I guess she didn't really think it was a good idea for me to be there. So the next day, I thought we were just gonna go out to Seattle or something. I didn't know what we were doing. He's like, "Come on, let's go." I'm like, "Okay," and because I'm not from over here, I thought he was just gonna take me around, show me. I don't know, I've been over here, but I'm not. I've been on the mainland, but I've never really lived over here. I've been on the island for so long. And so I thought maybe he's just gonna show me around, show me a few places, things where people go, or whatever. I don't know what happens over here at this point. And we end up driving down to Seattle from Renton, and we pull in front of 3rd and Virginia, where there's the female shelter there, Angeline's. Yeah, and at this point I'm 20. I'm 23 at this point. Yeah, I'm about to be 23, and so I'm kind of wondering what we're doing, thinking maybe we're going to eat or something, and he ends up my trash bag. He ends up grabbing my trash bag out of the back seat, and kind of let's come on. I'm like, what the heck? And I guess there's a outreach or a case what's it called? Social work, yeah, a building right next door, and he had a friend that worked in there that he'd known for years or whatever, that he had asked for help for me or whatever, but didn't really talk to me about it or anything, just kind of was doing stuff, not really asking me what I was willing to do or wanting to do, we just never had that discussion,
So you didn't have a choice.
Yeah, so yeah, he takes me down there, and she's like, okay, well, she's gonna help you figure your stuff out and yada yada yada, and I'm super confused, wait, what? What?
It's surprising.
Yeah, really, I was really surprised. I was, to be honest. Sorry.
It's okay. It sounds incredibly hurt.
But yeah, so she's supposed to give me bus tickets and all this stuff, and I'm like, what? Okay. And then he's like, there's a shelter next door, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so, yeah, got introduced to Angeline's shelter, which is it's a good place, but it's an awful place. It's a place to lay your head out when you need somewhere, and a place to get a meal, which is a blessing, when you don't have it.
But in your circumstance of, you had hope in this stuff in a room, and you started dreaming. And then all of a sudden it just crashes. Yeah. Which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, then my habit got way worse after that. I really wasn't even, to be honest, I really wasn't even using that much really until I got over here, because it's hard to get money out there, it's hard to get drugs out there, it's hard to hustle out there, you can't do it like you can over here. And so I'm kind of feeling stuff out, and kind of, being observant and trying to talk to people, because I'm from a small town technically, you know what I mean? I'm a small town girl technically.
And living in you're in the heart of the city now.
Yeah. I'm in Seattle, right. At Angeline Shelter, alone, and your
support just dropped you off.
Their support just
is gone.
And
your dad.
He would talk to me later, pretty much, and so that was a trip, but
How did you get through that? Did you stay at the shelter for a night or two, and then?
I wanted to feel it out because I didn't know what it was going to be like, So I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll give it a shot. Maybe it won't be so bad, because movies and stuff, you see the way I know that they exaggerate a little bit about how things can be. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it won't be so bad, And but no, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's a place to go. Seriously, it is a blessing. I'm not saying that. I'm not speaking down on it at all. But
eventually you left.
But yeah, I mean, I slept there one night.
Oh, just one night.
Yeah, gotcha. I slept there because you can go in there and you can check in if you want to check in. You can check your stuff in and share a locker with some random person you don't know. you know what I mean?
Right.
With your stuff, the only stuff you own, you know, and they watch the cameras, but they don't, you know what I mean? And they won't let you put locks on the lockers or anything. So it's like, what's the point of the lockers really at that point? Like, you know, like, yeah, but anyway, so yeah, you put your stuff in this locker with 2 to 3 other women that you don't know that probably don't have anything, you know what I mean? And who are gonna have every right to be in that locker, you know what I mean? Like, and so you put all your stuff in there, and you know, and you don't know who did it, you know what I mean? Obviously, you come back and stuff's been ran through, you know, and like, I'm just not the kind of person. I still to this day, I'm just not the kind of person. I don't really like. I just don't like taking from people. Like, I really don't like. I really don't like stealing from people. I don't think it's right, especially somebody that works for their things, or somebody that doesn't have anything already, and you're just taking a little bit of things that they have.
Yeah,
like, that's just crazy to me. I don't understand that mentality at all. But
well, I guess Jasmine, a question: how long ago was this? Like a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? I
was like 23 when this happened. I'm 30 now.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah,
so it's 7, 8 years. And then after that, it's like, where do you hit the streets?
Yeah.
Or like, what happens?
Yeah, pretty much. I just like kind of ran with it. Like, you know, I'm pretty good at adapting to my surroundings, you know. I'm pretty good at, I mean, at that point, I wasn't very good at, I trusted a lot of people a little too much back then. Like, you know, because that's what I was used to, you know. Like, back then, you know, I knew you can't trust everybody already. But you know, like, I was a little more trusting than I should have been, you know, and like,
and
had more hope and more faith in people than I, not necessarily should have, but than what I should have, I guess. You know.
Well, you're at a different age, and you didn't know as much. You're young, and I'm kind of more naive, I guess.
Yeah, I'm
in
young,
a sense.
and I'm homeless, and
still learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning, figuring things out, because like growing up on an island is really different from growing up over here. Sure, like, it really is. Like, and I mean, it doesn't sound like it'd be that different because it's just across the water, but it really is. It's like a completely different world. Like, yeah. You know, it really is. And so navigating through all that, and, you know, and just figuring out like who I am, or what my hustle is, you know what I mean? All this stuff, you know, how I'm going to support myself, how I'm going to take care of myself out here. And I can't go without, and I'm not going to steal from people. So, you know, but I mean, I ended up starting to be a booster, you know what I mean? Started boosting and doing stuff like that. And because I wasn't really like, it was like, oh, I'll never work out on the track or do anything like that, you know what I mean? Like, that's not, you know, that's not, I would never do that, you know what I mean? Like, that's where my head was at.
For our audience, like, and people watching who may not know what a booster is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, what is a booster?
A booster is somebody that, shit, I don't know if this is good, but it's somebody that goes into stores and grabs what they can, you know, and walks out, and then goes sells it on the street, I guess.
And so people see that and don't know why people do that.
Yeah.
And this part of this is like, you're surviving.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you had to do to survive.
Yeah.
And people in desperate situations do desperate things.
Yeah, they do. And it's crazy, like, things that you'll do when like, even people that, like, right now that have everything and shit, like, if they were to not have all that, like, they would be surprised at themselves as to what they would be willing to do to try to have something, you know? They really would. Like, they really would. You know, a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand, like, not having they take for granted, like, having a shower or a place to do laundry, or, you know, having a washer and dryer. Well, that's not that big a deal. Everybody has that. No, not everybody does have that, you know? Clean clothes, you know? And for me, like, I'm a very, like, big on my, like, how I present myself to the world. And so, even when I was homeless, like on the streets, and you wouldn't really know it, because I made sure that I take care of my, you know, I keep up on my.
You didn't look homeless.
I didn't look homeless, quote unquote, you know, No offense to anybody that, not saying anyone looks homeless, but you know what I mean, like.
I do.
So, like, I just made sure to maintain my. It's just like a good way for me to fucking. I'm sorry, a good way for me to
be you. You be you.
A good way for me to, like, keep my head on straight. I guess,
no,
a little
I'm
bit.
sure
Like,
it feels better.
Yeah, like feeling better about, like, and like, you know, okay, I had to do a little bird bath, but, you know, at least I'm clean, you know, and I got clean. You know, I had to steal some clothes, but at least I got clean clothes, you know, like, you know, you go through clothes so fast too, you know, like you lose anytime you have something. just expect to lose it probably within a week. So, anytime you have boosted or whatever you've done or gotten or given or whatever you got stuff from, just know you're not going to have it for very long probably out here. Like, don't get attached to it, Don't get attached to any clothing items or anything like that. Like.
Well, so have you've been in places where you've lived in a tent?
Yeah, I've lived in tents.
And your current situation, are you housed right now?
Yeah, actually I have housing now.
Well, tell me about that, how you got that, and what that looked like.
That was crazy, actually. I really wasn't expecting it. I came a long way from where I was at when I was 23, I'm 39. I've had housing for about 2 years now, I think, and I just honestly was just at the right place at the right time and just happened to be like close with the right person, I guess, like talking to the right person. Because I didn't really have a criminal record, to be honest. Like I was never really had a criminal record, and so I just kind of like couldn't like get on reach or anything like that because I wasn't a felon or and get help like that through that, and that's like the main thing that people use to get housing out at that time out here.
I'm a little confused. So if you have a criminal record, it's easier to kind of get hooked up with you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. At that time it was. Yeah, I don't do that now. Like, but probably like when I was like 25 or 26. Yeah. It was kind of like that. Like, I lived in tiny house villages and a couple different ones. I actually lived at the tiny house village that was right here on 85th and Aurora. That's how I came out to this area.
Oh, gotcha.
And because I was a downtown person for a long time, but then I came out here and but I lived there for like a while and never got housing, and then they ended up shutting it down and then moving us to another tiny house village that I really didn't want to go to, but it was still housing, and then but once I got to that tiny house village, I already knew I was probably going to be on the streets again because the lady that was running it just had it out for me and my girlfriend at the time. She just didn't like us. I don't know. She just didn't like us, because by that time I was working out here. I didn't boost anymore. Because
so you shifted in a different way to survive.
Yeah, I shifted. Yeah, because at one point, I didn't really get to say this part, but at one point, like, in those years, my Aunt Susie, who is, like, the black sheep of the family, she's actually deaf, but she's the black sheep of the family, she's always done drugs and stuff like that, and she ended up offering me a ticket down to California to go stay with her, because she heard I was homeless up here, and I, like, didn't really want to go, but I kind of did. I was like, screw it, let's just go, so I take the train down there. And I get there, and I probably should. It helped me grow as a person, that's for sure, and like definitely taught me a lot of things about people and places and things. Just a lot of things that I was naive to still, even from being out here. That I thought I knew everything, because I'm young. You always think you know everything, but definitely gave me a lot of lessons. Like I learned a lot of shit, and that's where because I was still a booster when I went down there, but I ended up. Getting kind of like kidnapped and taken. I got taken to some like hotel or something, and like kind of like forced to like work. Like as terminology I would use was a working girl. Like I don't know if they know what that means, but a working girl is what we say, I guess, and. Kind of against my will, and like, but I still seen how much money that you could make from it, and I was like, wow, like, without giving it to someone else, like, it's not that bad, it's not too bad, like, it's a way to survive, and, back then I was young and cute, still youngish, but, I was young and cute and kind of naive, but, yeah, so, somebody that had picked me up actually saved me. Seeing that I was like really skinny and beaten up, and that I just was like a mess.
Still in California?
Yeah, still in California. Yeah, and they seen that I was in distress, and honestly, I don't know. I never really heard of that kind of thing happening to any girls like that, but it happened to me, and he took me. He was like, "I'll help you," and he took me away from that and got me a hotel room in the Bay Area in California, and yeah, and let me, for like a week, he got me a hotel room and just like let me stay there. And I never seen him again, never heard from him again. Don't even remember his name, to be honest. Like, but he was just like, he could just tell that I needed help. And it was a blessing. So
wow, it's heavy stuff.
Yeah, but after all that happened, I was like, well, shoot, like, boosting is such a risk, like getting caught with the police and stuff like that, like, and working like that, like, I'd already dipped my toe in the water at that point, like, not willingly, but but it was dipped in, so at that point there was no, like, going back, really, like, what else am I gonna do, like, yeah, so.
You came back up to Seattle?
Yeah, so I got out of that, I finally I hitched a ride with the truck driver up to Seattle. Yeah, nice guy too, actually. He let me take a picture of his license plate and send it to my mom and all sorts of, and he took me like shopping a little bit, and like he was really nice, he was really sweet, he was really actually sweet. All the scary things you see in movies and TV shows about truck drivers and all they with working girls and stuff like that, how they like, it's possible, but sometimes, I got a pleasant experience.
Yeah, sometimes reality is different.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I guess, reality is different.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I had a pleasant experience, and he brought me back up here to Renton and met up with my mom, and mom picked me up, and then she brought me downtown to Seattle, and like, bye, thanks, Yeah. So I went back to what I was doing up here.
Gotcha.
But differently a little bit, And I never really told anybody that I was up here that I was leaving either. So everyone was like, "Oh, where have you been?" Like we thought you were dead. I was like, "No," because that's a common thing out here. You don't really know where people go.
Right. Yeah.
You see them when you see them. So it's kind of eye-opening too. Like you're like, "Damn, wow." Like I see you every day, and then you didn't see me at all, and you didn't know what happened to me, and then what could have happened? It just kind of like opens up your mind a little bit. Like you really realize, like, wow, it's crazy, like how easily you can go missing out here. Just in the world in general.
Yeah.
Not even just out on the streets, but just in the world.
Yeah, the world's a big place and there's a lot of people.
Yeah. But it's also a small place too, though.
It's also a small place, yeah, it can be, right?
Yeah.
And so you've been doing what you're doing for a couple of years housed now.
Yeah, I'm housed now, but I was on the streets for a long time doing it by myself. I didn't have a pimp. I refused. I'm what you consider a renegade, where you don't have pimp.
Now or then?
Since I got away from that situation until now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, never have I ever, I've never willingly wanted to do that.
Gotcha.
I don't see the point of that. I don't get it. I'm an adult, I make my own choices, and, sometimes we don't always get to make our choices, but when we do, that's the choice I made, you know what I mean? It was to just continue doing it, because, like I said, I always said I never would, but I already had, so, there was no going back, so why would I go back, it's already done and over with, so
yeah.
The whole the scary part is trying, is dipping, is jumping in, something, so I already was jumped in, so, so yeah, I just, kept doing my thing out here in Aurora by myself, I have friends and stuff, random little boyfriends, nothing really serious or anything like that, and just still by myself, still do my thing, and living at the tiny house villages for a while, and then moving to another one, and then still doing my thing, and then and just trying to support myself as much as I could, just doing what I could. Yes, does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, again, from my perspective, you're doing what you do to survive.
Yeah. Yeah, to survive and to also make sure that I don't have to take from anybody. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather do that than steal from someone that did work for it. You know what I mean? That's just the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
I would do that before I would steal from the old lady on the corner. You know what I mean? Before I would jack an old, I would way rather. I would way rather sacrifice myself than to do that to somebody that's not doing anything to me or just living their life, not bothering me. You know what I mean? I don't understand that kind of thing. So that's what I started doing, and just to make sure I could get by day to day.
Yeah, Jasmine, is there anything that you'd want to say to the people of Seattle? I want to say, stop
stop thinking that every homeless person or person on the girl on the corner or something is beneath you. Like, you know, like stop letting movies and media and things like that like make you think that we're any different from you. You know what I mean? Like yeah, we made our own choices and we've done what we've done, and you made your choices and done what you've done, and you know, and you've had successes and failures, and so have I, you know, in my own ways, you know, and so I just wish that people would, like, in general, in the whole world, I just wish that everybody would just realize that we're literally all in this together, you know, and that if we were all together, that we could like do so much more than what we're doing, you know, and like we're all the same in the inside, like literally, like you cut me open, got same organs. I mean, some of us may not have this, may be missing one or two, but you know, but for the most part, like yeah, like we're all the same. Like it just, you know, it just hurts my heart because there's so many like beautiful people that get like looked past like all the time, you know, great people, like good people, they get judged and treated badly, and it just breaks my heart. So,
Jasmine, it's good to hear your voice.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing part of your story.
Yeah,
really
sorry,
appreciate
I'm such a mess right now.
Don't be sorry. I appreciate your honesty and vulnerability. You know, it's I think helping a lot of people be aware and bring a lot of insight and awareness.
Yeah.
People don't know.
Yeah. People think that like you choose, like people think that like people in this lifestyle that they choose it, really, like in my case I guess maybe I kind of did. No, I don't know if I say I chose it, but like you kind of just fall into it, you know, like it can happen to anybody, you know.
Yeah,
it just happen to anybody.
Yeah, anything
can happen to anyone, so just people need to stop thinking that it can't happen to them, you know, because anything can happen at any time. You know, you could lose everything you have in a second. You know, Uncle Sam could want to take everything. You know what I mean? You never know. You just never know. So just remember that. Yeah, we're all the same.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
You grab that little mic. You over for a hug.
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.